Hey guys, I wanted to go ahead and do my February wrap-up. Um, yes, I'm hiding my hair with my hat. Alright, the very first thing I read was The Alchemy of Murder by Carol McCleary. And I actually gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because I really enjoyed this. I read other people's reviews and I saw some complaints about it, like, this has some famous people in it, like Jules Verne, and I think Oscar Wilde, people like that. And plus, the main character is Nellie Bly, which was based on a true character, or a true person. And people were complaining about how this author took, I don't know, she took it and she made them do certain things and say certain things, and I guess that offended some people. They didn't believe that these people would be saying things like this. I'm sorry, but I just read it at face value, realizing that these aren't the true people, that it is an author who's writing it, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very, very, very well written for the fact that she did such an excellent job with all the science and stuff. And I am a science person. I love science. I love anatomy and all these things. And I kind of enjoyed this because this was based on almost like Jack the Ripper. Um, I think that's what they really kind of were hinting at, was this person was like Jack the Ripper, but it wasn't just London. It actually started in the United States, went to London, ended up in France. I just thought it was very, very good, and I gave it a 5 out of 5. The next thing, well, actually, I don't even know what order I read some of these in. I'm showing the physical books, and then I'll show the Kindle books. This is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn, or Jillian. I still think it's Gillian, but I can't not remember. It's been so long. But anyway, I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This was very, very good. It is very dark. And once again, it's another thing where there's some murders happening. Or no, there's not murders. I can't say murders. There was a murder that happened years ago, and somehow they are saying that this disappearance of a young girl who is then found dead is related to that. Well, maybe it's not years ago. Maybe it was a year. It was a year before that. Sorry. It's been a while. It's been a month since I read this. So, there was a murder a year ago, and then there was a murder now, and they are linking those two things, and the main character is a journalist or reporter, and she is sent to check it out, and it is her own hometown, and she kind of finds herself identifying with the two young girls that were killed a little too much. So she has to figure out who killed the girls. And I just thought it was very, very good. And I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Going Vintage by Lindsay Levitt, or Leavitt. If you can see that. There. This was a decent read. It was definitely not as good as what I thought it was going to be. I still did give it a 4 out of 5 stars because it is very entertaining. And this is a young lady who finds out her boyfriend is cheating and pretty much swears off everything. Oh my gosh, my brain is not working. Everything, like, I can't even say technology-wise. She's just kind of trying to go vintage because she found a notebook based on, or had a line. Y'all are going to have to excuse me. I do not know what's wrong with my head today. There was a list in it that her grandma had made back in the 1960s when she was in high school, and this girl found it, and so she is kind of basing her little going off the grid thing on that. So she kind of is trying to be like a 1960s girl. And there is a guy who comes along in the middle of it, and he is related to her ex-boyfriend. And personally, I thought the story got better when he was introduced because he gave the story a different feel to it. I just thought he added something to it, and I kind of wish we could have seen some more of him. So, 4 out of 5 stars. The next is the Yonalasi Writing Camp for Girls by Anton DeSclafani. And I don't know. When I bought this, I think I thought it was a young adult. It's definitely not young adult. It's definitely an adult book, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Though it was very, very good, but there is a lot of like sex scenes and descriptions and that type of thing, so that definitely clued me in that it's definitely an adult book. This young girl gets herself in some trouble, and her parents actually send her to this writing camp. Um, to I can't really say what her parents were thinking, other than maybe they were ashamed, or maybe they didn't know how to handle or deal with the situation, and so she was sent off. And while she's at this camp, and she's upset about being sent to this camp, but while she's at this camp, she finally, I think, realizes who she is and what she wants in life. So it actually was a good thing that she was sent there. I enjoyed seeing her develop into somebody she wanted to be, not what she was expected to be. Um, I don't know, I just really enjoyed it. So 4 out of 5 stars, and I do really recommend this. Even though it does have some of those sex scenes and stuff, if that makes you feel uncomfortable. The next one was part of a Pick Me a Winner. It was on Goodreads, a book club. And this one, they picked 3 books, and I picked this one out of the 3. And this is Perfect Chemistry by Simone Alcalez, I think. And this, I do believe, is a new adult. I could be wrong, but I think it's new adult. It's based on high schoolers. One is in a gang, the other is, I think, more like Miss Perfect, pretty much. And it's the story of how they get together and how their romance develops. And same old type story, but I really did enjoy it. And I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because I enjoyed it so much. So I actually have changed my mind about my TBR because I think I want to try to read the second book of this. I guess they're more like companions, but I want to read the second book. The next was a book club read as well, Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, I think is how you say it. And this I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. I can't believe I left this on my bookshelf for so many years without reading it. It was a very good book. I can't say that it was a 5-star rating, but it was definitely a 4-star rating for me. It was very interesting. It kept my attention. I listened to the audiobook as I was following along in the book, and let me tell you, the audiobook gives this such a voice. The main character already has an amazing voice, but to hear it narrated by the girl who did narrate it for audible.com, absolutely amazing. I loved listening to her. She did such an excellent job, and it definitely even made that voice of Juliet even deeper and more profound. I just really enjoyed it. I enjoyed hearing her thoughts, how she warred with herself and her mind. I did enjoy it, and I am reading the second one. Probably going to follow along with the audiobook like I did before because it is a book club read. And the last physical book was Magic in Manhattan by Sarah Manowski. And this was like a last minute thing, and I didn't think I was going to finish it because the awful stomach virus came through our home and knocked us out for like a week. And even during that time, I did not feel like reading it. I thought, there's no way I'm going to finish this book in time. But I did finish it in time. I struggled with this. I didn't know whether to give it like a 3-star or 4-star because you can't really give 3.5 on Goodreads. So I gave it a 4. This is not an awful story, but it's not a wonderful story either. There are 2 books, Brawls and Broomsticks and Frogs and French Kisses, and this is about a 14-year-old girl who finds out that her sister is a witch. And it's just kind of both books are kind of the story of the 2 of them getting themselves into trouble. The sister, who's actually a witch, is trying to pretty much save the world by doing good things, while as the older one kind of wants to make her life better. And it was just interesting to watch the 2 of them. Like I said, it wasn't awful, but it wasn't like mind-blowing either. It was just like a cutesy little read. I owned the book, so I read it, and it was supposed to be for my paranormal. And also, it is a very attractive book, in my opinion. I liked how they made it. So that is it for the books that I read that are physical. If I could get my Kindle to wake up, I would show you. This does not have a cover, or at least I don't have a cover for it. It does have a cover if you look on Amazon. It is Mother of Wolves, Evelise, World Shaper Book 1 by J. Aslan or Ashlyn, I don't know, Demerikson. And if you can even see it, there. I received this off of Library Thing as an ARC to read for review. It's not really an ARC because it's already been published, I'm pretty sure. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. That actually was really good. It's a very short story. It was very good, though. Science fiction is kind of, well, it's not really science fiction. It was more fantasy. I don't know. It was fantasy, but I'm not used to all the like crazy names for places and crazy names for people, and it took me a while to kind of get used to that, but I actually thought it was really, really good. It's about a girl who has to go out and find herself a mage to help her to draw energy from so that she can do magic. And it's just kind of their story of going and fighting this evil that has started to awaken in the earth again. So it actually was pretty good, and I actually received this second book in this series from the author. So I actually can't wait to read it to find out what happens. Then I read, if it comes up, The Last Girl by Joe Hart. I'm sorry, the lighting is awful in here. There. The Last Girl by Joe Hart. This is the story of a world where the female births started to decline. And I actually think it started in 2016. At the end of 2016, they realized there weren't as many female births. And it just keeps happening until I think it's like one female birth in every 100 million or something like that. I can't even remember now. So the females are sought after, and when they find them, they take them to this facility and keep them there to try to keep them safe. Also, I think they kind of brainwash them. But this girl, she actually searches out, because I think like at age 21, they are supposed to leave the facility and be reunited with their family, and this girl just doesn't not believe that, and she wants to find out where these girls do end up going, and she escapes. And it's just her story of how she is trying to get out of there and how she's going to try to fight back. And I thought this was excellent. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Then I read A Cure for Madness by Jodi McIsaac. And once again, this lighting. This is a story about a small town. This girl lived on the other side of the country because she moved away from her family. She wanted to get away as soon as she could, so she did. Her parents actually end up getting murdered, and she has to come back and take care of her mentally ill brother. I think he has schizophrenia, possibly. I think that's what it is. Gosh, I don't remember these stories. But she has to come back, and she's going to be his guardian. So she comes back, and all of a sudden, it's like more and more people are displaying this almost like a madness, a wildness, a craziness. And they're trying to figure out, it's very similar to schizophrenia, and they're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and they think it's a virus. And so she is now stuck in this town. She cannot get out. She is scared that she is going to end up getting whatever this is, a virus or a germ or whatever that is causing this madness. And that's what the story is like her and her brother fighting time, pretty much. They don't want to get, well, he already has schizophrenia, but they don't want to get sick, and they got to figure out what is the cure for this. So I actually gave this a 4 out of 5 as well. It was pretty good. And the last ebook was Cruel Beauty by Rosamund Hodge. And I gave this a 4 out of 5. I thought this was really, really good. Not quite a 5-star, but I thought it was so incredibly good. It is supposed to be like Beauty and the Beast, and this girl is pretty much raised learning how to fight the gentle lord who is like the Beast. He's like a demon king. She is to be married to him at a certain age, and so they have shown her, trained her, prepared her how to fight him, how to bring him down, so that he can no longer be kind of the lord over their little village, their city or town or whatever. And obviously, Beauty and the Beast, there is a love, a romance that develops there, and it is a little different, obviously, than Beauty and the Beast, but I really, really enjoyed it, so I would definitely recommend it. But that's it. That's all I read for the month of February. I definitely don't know if I'm going to be able to read all the books I said I was going to read for March. Plus, I got an arc today that I really, really want to start. It wasn't on my TBR, so things might be a little different. But anyway, that's it for now, and I will see you guys later.